Hi, welcome back to Sharon from Vivid Days. Another day off work. Took me a little bit to get my energy up today, but I feel like it's time to spend some time with yourselves in the studio experimenting. I've got a couple of pieces I want to work on. I've got so many ideas coming in my head of what I want to do and explore, and that's the greatness of learning, because as you're learning you start to stumble across things by mistakes and then start to think, you know what, I want to give that a go. So today I am going to have a go at doing this one now in reverse. I absolutely love this one. Lots of layers in there. There's 3 layers in total. Lots of depth, but I love the colours, the depth, the movement, and the majestical or magical feel. So I'm going to try and do this, but reverse it. So this time I'm going to have the trees or the forest blue with the sky of the purple. Just curious to see whether I can replicate that. I really love the feel of this. It's not going to be identical, as you know, with resin. It's going to do what it wants to do. Sorry, it's a bit warm in here. Moaning it's been winter. We're just having a mini heat wave. All of high 20s we're going to get. So I must have lost all my sun heat tolerance from living in Australia by being in the UK, but my studio is hot. I've got every window open and door open. Probably I'm going to have to bring my fan down, but first world problems, hey? So join me, let's get creative. I'm going to be using resin, still got my little obsession there. I'm going to be continuing to explore that a little bit and push my skills. Having said that, I've just started to subscribe to a channel with fine art, which is working with acrylics and oils, and my peacock, I'm ready to revisit him and add some layers and some depth. So if you're interested, let me know and I can film you showing me how I create some of the eyes and the feathers. But I do need to go back and start adding some colour through to the feathers that are already there, but I'm getting where I am missing my oils now and want to do a little bit of mixture. And I'm curious to know whether you would still find my channel enjoyable if it wasn't just about fluid art and it wasn't just about resin, whether you're going to be willing to be on that journey with me just to show the different skills I do have when it comes to art, and hopefully I can share some of my knowledge with you or just inspire you to continue, because that's where I got my skills from. Originally in 2014 I was watching new YouTubers out there to help me in a challenging time in my life to find some peace and calm the mind, and art gave that to me, and along the way I found that I've been okay with it and learned a few skills, and I just love it. So to give back means a lot to me as a person, but I'm digressing again, it must be the sun. Today I'm going to be working on the piece in reverse. Like I said, I'm using Mastercast resin 1+1. I'm going to be using about 250ml, maybe slightly over for my board, but I've got a couple of spare boards ready. I've levelled it, I've put my tape underneath. My board I'm using for this piece, it's just a cheap one. It is the Crawford and Black canvas board. I'm trying to be cost effective with my art at the moment, and I'm going to stick with the inks. I really like the effect I got with that and the depth, and I'm going to continue working with that. So I'll just show you the colours I am working with. So I've got 3 blues. I have all from the some pearlescent, Dahlia and Rowney, and there's just some normal artist inks. So this colour is the marine blue, so the darker blue, followed by the galactic blue. It's actually a beautiful one that you could use for peacocks with that one. Beautiful tone. And back to my sky blue, which is the pearlescent one, which has got that tiny little sparkle in there as well. Very drawn to them. And then as I phase through the purple and pinks, my favourite colour is this one, which is just classed as a purple, but to me it just is so bright and vibrant, and it's Winsor and Newton, just purple. And this one is the magic colour, which is just a purple, but it does have a little bit of pearlescence in there, so you get a nice little shimmer, which will phase through to my lighter pinks, which are both of the pearlescent family of FW, which is Dahlia and Rowney, and they're both liquid inks, but this one is called Sundown Magenta. Rocky Horror Picture Show, I know. And this one is called Platinum Pink. So they are the boards I'm going to be using. So let's get creative and let's hope it's a great day in the studio and produce some art. So I'll start with my first layer of this one, and if I've got time I'm going to move on to a new piece. So enjoy your time with me. So I'm just going to start by putting my clear on here and spreading that. I'll just see if that's enough there. I have taken some of this out for my colours, but it is important that I want to retain or use this background a little bit just to help dilute some of the colours, but I do want to make sure I'm not putting too much of the clear, just enough to cover it all. Otherwise I don't want to dilute my colours too much, because every time you add your resin to clear it produces some amazing effects, but it is going to dilute the colour. So there is a balance, and I'm just making sure where possible, because you never know with resin, you can have all these intentions. I just want to make sure where possible I'm getting all my clear resin, just a thin coat all over, touching all the sides. So I'll fast forward this bit and then I'm going to start adding my colours. Even though I'm going to end up working on it in portrait, I work on the base in landscape just so that it helps me graduate, and it's just how it worked for me last time, so I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to pretend I knew what I was doing last time. I was just working with it and the image came to me. I knew that I wanted a really nice theme. I let the colours do the work. I then thought it was going to be some kind of space theme or heaven, which never really worked, and then when I flipped it the other way it was a mystical forest. Or at least that's what I see. Great thing with inks, they really do blend together so beautifully. That's the colour that is the one that you could use in a peacock very easily. If I have any spare, I'm going to use a nice little board. Got one ready. We don't want to waste any resin. The only problem with the doors and windows, nature. Flies, so this is going to be interesting. Seeing if I can keep foreign bodies out of my art. But hey, at least it's sunny. Alright, so got my purples and pinks there. So I am going to start with my darks around this part here. I'll leave a little bit of that in there. Following up with my blue, the galactic blue, which I think is a beautiful blue for a peacock. Blend that in. And we are going to blow this forward with the hairdryer. So what I'm going to do is air bubble, get my blowtorch out to get rid of the bubbles, then hairdryer to move it up a little bit, and then graduate with my colours. I think that's the plan at the minute, but we'll see. Well, I think I'm going to add all my colours and then blow it to blend it, and then if it's too intense I can get the runoff, which is where I did on the first one, to lighten it up, and then when I come in with the second coat I'll add more character and depth, followed by the third, which should be my forest again. And let's hope that the fluid art gods or resin gods are going to be kind to us. So. Surely it can't be that simple. It's not as dark here as I'm hoping, but again the other layers can bring that, but I'm just going to look after these edges and runoffs for a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to let the heat settle down a little bit, and then I'll come through with, sorry, just aligning that for you, with some of the lines, some beautiful runoff down here that I'm capturing on my paper. which hopefully I'll be able to use for some jewellery, or even just replicating, well, not replicating, but creating an actual piece of art from them all. Got some quirky little stuff coming through. Somebody surfing on a wave. Okay, so I believe I've done with the first coat. I'm just going to let it set, do what it needs to do, but I think this is an even better first coat than the last one, because this time I had a sense of an idea of what I wanted to do, and knowing that, I'll show you, with every layer you can still see through. I managed to, I think, set the tones right. I'm probably going to bring in blues more over the top of this for the trees. That's my intention. Hope we get a better view of it there. But I've started to do some highlights and low lights, so that when I do bring in my, where the sun is setting, or the shine at the side of the trees, it's going to stand out more. So that green really sets it up nice with the blue, phasing through to the purple and the pink. So it is the opposite. That was the goal of today, bringing the colours opposite, and then add 2 more layers to keep adding the depth and sense of movement. Who knows, I might only need a second layer with this one, because this time I knew what I was doing. Last time I had the third layer was because the first one I believe messed up, and I was really unhappy with the corner piece. I know everybody else liked it just the way it was, but I really didn't. The corner was really going to irk me, and you've got to be able to stand by your work. I know that you don't necessarily always have to appreciate the colour palette, because everybody else has a different colour palette, but you still have to be proud that it's representing you. So I am going to bring it in for a little close-up while it's really wet, and then we can monitor what that looks like in 24 hours, and then when it cures in 48 hours I'm going to go back and apply a second coat. I do like that the white is starting to come through again, and that lightens it up from the back. I just love all the colours. I think I've already told you that, so no need to keep going on, Sharon. Let's tidy up your mess. So here we are, messy workstation and all, really wet, just finished working on it, Mastercast and resin, just setting the tones for the underlay, or the layer one, and I'm going to see whether I need 2 or 3 layers just to try and replicate and get the depth I got in the other one. But overall, I'm really happy with this. I've just got to work out how to not have so much runoffs as I've got here, but I am going to make some skins out of it. I really just don't like wasting any kind of resin, but yeah. Alright, well, we'll see you on the other side of a couple of days. Hi, so this one's fully dried now and I am about to work on it this evening. I hope it's light enough in the studio for you to really capture what the colours have settled down like. Very beautiful, very subtle, blended together beautifully and capture a nice feel. So I'll hopefully keep improving on this on my second layer. So if you like my channel, please thumbs up, subscribe, and comments are always welcome. Have the most wonderful evening.